I will be talking about the most important chemistry of all, the chemistry of human interaction. And when you put in diversity, it actually makes the chemistry of human interaction much more challenging. Because when we say diversity, we think of differences. But in my experience, we are actually a lot more similar. We have a lot more in common than we think we do. And the differences that we see and that we have are actually here to make the whole world a more exciting and better place. So if our differences are valued and respected, then the chemistry of human interaction is just going to be so awesome. So if you take away anything from today, then it has to be that differences are strength, and they should be respected and valued, and we'll all get along. So what I will talk about today is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And very often we hear about the moral case for diversity because it's the right thing to do. There are certain groups that are marginalized or underrepresented, so it's the right thing to do to have them included. But I will present today a business case. It's not just the right thing, there's not just a moral imperative, but it's also good business. So whenever we meet somebody who is different from us, then the choice is ours. How do we engage? Do we use the differences, or are we curious about the person? Do we see it as a possibility or an opportunity to connect? Or do we see it as a way to say, okay, this person is different, so they don't belong? So the choice is ours. Again, there are lots of people who are much more clever than I am, who have done a lot of research. And there are many, many advantages to having diverse groups of people come together and work together. And here you can see on the slide that if we take the right-hand side, if you have a diverse and inclusive teams, then they're 87% more likely to make better decisions. If you look at gender diversity, what they find is that you have increasing likelihood that these companies will financially outperform companies that have less diversity, up to 39%. If you look at ethnic diversity, then you can see consistently across the board, then you will have companies with a large percentage of ethnic diversity outperforming. Companies that have low diversity, they have about 26% of their revenue is due to innovation, whereas companies with high diversity, 45% of their revenue, almost half their revenue, comes from innovative products. And it does not just work for business. Many of you here are in academia, and the research also supports that diversity is a competitive advantage for research groups. So if you're a research group, then you do publish more frequently, and you are cited more often. So if you want to have diversity to work for you, it's very important that you have very skillful management. You have leaders that practice inclusive leadership. They are collaborative, and they know how to get the best out of a diverse team. They know how to address any of the conflicts that would arise, not shy away from them, but embrace them and handle them. So if we know that diversity is such a great thing, then why are we seeing headlines like this? I mean, over the last months or year, people have been talking about the backlash against EDI. You've probably heard the famous line from Elon Musk, making a play on the acronyms EDI must die. And even in Canada, you have your own Lululemon founder, Chip Wilson, who was upset that the company is having a focus on EDI and diversity. A lot of this is arising out of fear fear of the unknown, fear that the pie is too small, fear that there is not enough room for all of us to blossom and thrive, that if there are DEI initiatives, that some of us will be left behind. But this is the reality, and it's something that we have to deal with. And how we deal with that, I think it depends on the ecosystem that you find yourself in. So we really have to think about what is going on within ourselves when we say something is good, something is excellent, or something is professional. Because all of us have bias. If you are inclusive, it's important to build interpersonal trust. You show interest in people. You do little things that matter. You make sure that you integrate diverse perspectives. You know, when you are leading a meeting, who are the people who are not speaking? Make sure that they're included. If people's opinions are being discarded, you need to step up and speak up about it. And above all, you need to act courageously. Sometimes you have to make the difficult decisions. Don't rest on your laurels. It's hard work. It's complicated. But if we focus on having open and honest conversations and good chemistry, have the right people in the room when we devise the initiative, I'm an optimist. I think we're going to make it. Thank you for listening.